useful for us as human beings.
Early morning house sounds. Sun's hardly up. Just coming up. And the sound comes up with it. The artificial reality around me, or the humans that use not just tracking and surveillance systems to follow and suppress real humans, but even just in their daily workly activities, they have to make excessive sound, mechanical sound, artificial sound. The only thing natural is the poor dogs that are trying to avoid it out there. Are you able to avoid it, doggies? Look at all the toxic waste up against the panel on the back part of this place we're in. They create negative sound and toxic waste all around a human being, trying to bring your mind down with the negative sound and then your body down with the toxic waste and all the chemicals and all the asbestos, that's around. That simply means that not only is the internet and their artificial intelligence moving through the air, but their toxic wastes. This is Leichhardt, the suburb that I'm living in, is a green area where they care about keeping everything natural and pure. But in reality, it's a toxic waste dump on the few humans that are around. Because it's a fake artificial reality where the androids pretend to be the real life while they throw toxic waste at the real life. Even the animals that are suppressed, because they're natural animals there, because they're bred naturally. A male and a female have created those puppies, but they are being destroyed just like I am in this toxic environment. It's an artificial environment controlled by android workmen making negative noise, which is negative frequency and vibration, which simply means you don't have to be a genius to understand the frequency and vibration battle, okay? I'm sounding fancy and impressive here by saying everything is frequency, vibration and energy, but you don't have to be a genius to understand that if you're living on a construction site and everywhere you go you have construction sounds in your ears, that is very detrimental to the human mind and to your emotional well-being. You don't have to be a genius to understand that, okay? And you don't have to be a genius to understand that asbestos is damaging to the human lungs, the human body, and that these beings digging up all this asbestos out here and all over Leichhardt, which is known, is damaging to that and to me, and to me, to a human being and to any real life. Just showing the animals that I can't let in because there's too many of them. They're not mine, they come from next door. But they're frightened out there because of the noise and the toxic environment they're in. They know it. They're living it, and they're out in it 24/7 because they're outdoor animals, because there's so many of them. They can't come in. Even I can't let them in. Not that I would get into trouble from the androids if I did, because although, they've let them invade into the back there, they would probably be upset if I let them in. Not unless it causes negative energy for me. Like if it stresses me, which they know that if they come in, there's a dozen of them, they rip the place up like they've ripped up the back there. That was a couch that was left there for me and it's ripped to pieces. Not that I care, because I'd rather see the dogs happy, or at least if they could use it, but of course they don't know what they're doing, just as I don't. Chew you up.
Human beings, they will see, look how they time it. These two, they're looking at me to see how they're going to time it. As soon as I get out there, they can get it. Look. So first going to press the point to her husband.
I'm just going to use this gentleman's video as an example of something. While that noise is going, as soon as the sun comes up, see, I tried to get some rest. I overslept because it was night time and they can't make the noise, and I was disturbed because I can't even sleep, because when you're aware of this situation, you're actually living with a huge burden every day, pretending that everything is normal and natural when it's really, when you're really surrounded by these stalkers and these patrollers, and you can't do anything about it. And you have to pretend that it's all right, because if you say anything, then you're classed as insane. So basically, it's all their way, this game. I can't even explain.
For me to come out, but I don't think so, because I could have been in there for a good 10-15 minutes. I got someone who commented on my channel, and he told me that, this is what they do. He explained to me how the system works, and it made sense, and that's what I believed in at first. But now I don't believe that anymore. Why? Because, guys, I could be sitting in a place for, see the sirens, the cop sirens, look, he honks, the bastard.
Oh,
They
sorry.
make noise for me.
Sorry about that.
Unnecessary. They come out of
Because
there.
actually,
So,
I didn't see real humans get so agitated that they end up swearing and using obscene words, because we've been indoctrinated with negative words, and so when that's right, shut up. See, it's like that. Then you become so frustrated that those negative indoctrinated words explode out as an expression, because otherwise you're taking them in and you destroy yourself.
Fear in them. I know it's a bad tactic, but you gotta do it. They're animals, they're not human beings, these creatures. You gotta remember that. They used to be human beings. After they made a pact with the devil and started to do this, they're not human beings anymore. You can't treat them as such, or they will chew you up. If you treat them as human beings, they won't see it. Look how they time it. These two, they're looking at me.
They will see it as a weakness, but you can't win, because if you treat them, then you're acting like them, so you're giving out negative energy and you're feeling negative energy. It's a no-win situation for humans at this end time.
It's not about age. She's a nasty creature. Look what I have to experience. Look. So you see how corrupted this whole system is. It's corrupted, guys. It's corrupt. All these agencies, they work with them, and they know they're coming. That's an ambulance, for God's sakes. The guy who drives that car is supposed to be saving lives, or at least helping people to get to the hospital fast enough so they can save their lives. What is he doing? He's participating in a choking operation on someone, on a targeted person, to choke him with noise and annoy him. This is what this is. Gang stalking is a choking operation. It's an assassination. Hidden, but in plain sight. Not really that hidden when they have that many people around you, but still, you get the point, So look at the birds everywhere, the pigeons, look what they do to them. They feed them. I don't know how they train them to do this. Here, the big trucks are going to pass by, and the school trucks are over there. Look. Look how they speed and pass by. Look at the shit I have to listen to every time I pass by here. Guys, zillions of them sometimes.
Yeah, and they're all big, loud, and moving far too fast. They either move too fast or too slow. They completely traffic jam you and move with you, literally stalk you. The traffic literally stalks me, or if not, it's going so fast that and so loud, it's either going too slow and trailing along with you, so that you're like being stalked and patrolled by it in an intimidated, confining manner, or they're going at astronomical speeds for, say, big trucks and big buses and motorbikes, so that you experience their anger or their what you call road rage as they go past. That's how they do it, and it's never like normal, smoothly flowing traffic that's at a normal sound level, where even if there was a lot of it, it isn't going to be like angry road rage vehicles surrounding you everywhere. Even then, it's not a natural free environment, but you can survive in it. Because I never used to, I'm a city person. I was born and have never lived outside of this city of Sydney. So basically, I don't know anything different except a city kind of existence. But this city existence is now a technological, mind-controlled, oppressive city system, which is all controlled by artificial intelligence and apparent human beings using artificial intelligence or using computers, using technology to track and follow you everywhere you go. But they're not human beings in the sense that, like this gentleman says, they're actually the psychopathic variety, or the those filled with an anti-human spirit. And that is the vast population now. So this is why you have this suppressive, anti-life, anti-human program being operated around, you know, human beings that want to still remain with some humanity. It's hard to explain.
You try not to pay attention to them and ignore them, and they just want to annoy you.
Yeah, you do. You have to walk around with a suppressive, psychopathic, stalking patrol force around you and pretend that it's not there, even though it's driving you into a very negative frame of mind. And then they point the finger at you and say, oh, you're the angry, anti-life, anti-human being. See, so it's a reverse world, as they say.
This would work on them. So they get people to act weird like this and saying, and these guys don't do this on a normal basis. They're just doing it to annoy you.
Yes, everything is spiritual warfare or mind control warfare. Same thing, or anti-human warfare. Even the people around you, they're all acting, they're all told to perform in front of you, to psychologically disturb you usually, even though you can't prove that someone is putting on a performance around you and that it's psychologically affecting you, because the program is connected to my mind. So therefore, I know my frailties, I know my complexes, I know the things that mentally disturb me. But if someone comes past and triggers that disturbance or that program that's been put into me since birth, no one else sees it. And they think, why would you be upset by that? So it's a secret, cunning program, because it is really connected to your mind. If it wasn't, they wouldn't have as much psychological control over you. They wouldn't affect you as much. But even so, even if they didn't have that, just their patrol program, just their sight and sound negative energy that they send daily at you would be enough to keep you in your lowest mental state, or at a scientific real level, your lowest frequency and vibration and energy. Because these beings, the powers that be that control Earth, know how science works and know how the universe works, as they say. They know about not just the human mind and the human psychology and what creates reality. They know all that. They tell you these things too. They'll tell you everything is frequency, vibration, and energy. They'll tell you that they are master technical medical practitioners behind the scenes, that they really understand the science of creation and how everything that is real works. But they won't give you personally the solutions to that. They'll only use it against you and for their own benefit to control you, because they want the transhuman program. They want the transhuman reality so that these beings can avoid their technical extinction which they've created. And that's at the expense of human extinction. Because human life is real life. And it is kind of more it's creative, whereas technological control is destructive,
awaken you, you know?
especially for a human being or for something that's creative. It works against it, even though it uses it in this reality to pretend to be human. So it does creative things which it takes from the human mind, because artificial intelligence doesn't even think creative or productive at all. That's the strange thing. But it does creative and productive things because it reads the human mind, because the transhuman connection to my brain and to other humans' brain is there. With the invisible technology they're using, they basically pretend to be productive and creative whilst with a secret program destroying humanity, like they do with me. Like I appear to live a normal life, and yet I'm living on a construction site and always surrounded by these negative beings, to where I cannot even look any without seeing their presence or hearing their noisy technical vibration being thrown at me while they do pretend work productions, and their android army workforce surrounds me daily.
You know, they're not that strong. They're actually pretty weak. You know, when someone out there wants to hire 1,000 people to bully you, right there it says who's strong and who's weak.
Yeah, but they still win.
Take a genius to figure it out.
No.
Anyways, I'll upload this video for you right now.
Well, he's right that way. If it was 1-on-1, which it isn't, it's 1 on 100,000 where you can't win, where you've got a whole army around you. But if it was 1-on-1 or 1-on-2, these android beings are just copycat imitations of life using you. But if it was just 1-on-1, there would be no contest, as they say. You wouldn't even be bothered by their presence. Maybe in a personal relationship they could still affect you if you are emotionally attached to them. And this, of course, is another part of the matrix. There's the personal matrix, where they form personal relationships with you and then inflict their negative energy on you. And then there's the larger matrix. When the personal matrix becomes exposed to you, which is what's happened with a lot of human beings now, then they will bring on the vast numbers against you, and then you don't have any possibility of avoiding it. That's the problem.
I, the creator of this video, give permission to anyone to use this video for educational purposes. Also, I give you permission to spread the information.
Hold on.
Disclosure information. I, the creator of this video, give permission to anyone to use this video for educational purposes. Also, I give you permission to spread the information in this video. And also, you can use this video for non-profit purposes. And I want you to spread the information as well as connect a link to this video to others. Thank you. Gang stalking, targeted in America. Just the facts. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video on gang stalking, also known as organized harassment.
Organised harassment by proxy, or policing of human citizens for no reason except to extract their energy from them and information from their brain.
Which is sponsored, sanctioned by the state and government.
Yes, it's sanctioned by the powers that be, by the state, by the government, and by anyone that has any power or control. So actually, it's a legal program, even though it is still hidden but in plain sight. So it's not openly, talked about, in any computer form. Although, of course, information is gradually coming out. But this is all on the one side of that particular gentleman, which I think it's a crime against humanity, and it's a crime against the human race, because the android artificial species has taken over. And unfortunately, even exposure or even bringing this to light is usually only done by the androids themselves. So this is the main problem with it. So, so I don't know. But you know, that's really what's around you when you see civilians on foot patrolling you, when you see work operations being done around you. That's really what it is. It's really every single industry, every single institution, every single department of any department of force or any department that has any power in the world. In other words, every single thing that you engage in is part of it. And of course, America probably tends to be more up on these things. I live in Sydney, Australia. Sydney is the capital city of the country of Australia, and I better stop the video because I'll have to see what the dogs are up to out there. So if you're a human being, you're basically targeted by what they call stalking or motorcycle gangs, policing gangs, every bus service, every truck service, everything is basically part of this program, or just part of the city where I am, because everything is controlled by technology and everyone is using the computer systems and the technology to be part of this program, because like this video has just shown me, basically it's all like about oh, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, using unethical means to control someone, even though it's part of a proper policing program or part of a proper community program. But that community and that so-called stalking or stalking by huge gangs is basically every community in the city, every institution in the city, every department in the city, every law enforcement or law-abiding citizen is part of it, because they believe that it is law-abiding to control specific human individuals. They've been misguided into directing their energy onto human beings that don't have any problem or issue with them. And also it's about the fact that they're not interested in one human being as opposed to, say, 200,000 or a couple of million, because they're being kept alive by being part of this technical human suppression program. So from their perspective, it makes sense, and they probably think that it's not just beneficial, but that it would be detrimental for them not to be part of it, because they make it so that human beings, even, although I don't think they are human beings in the sense that they're psychopathic, and psychopaths are the same as the artificial intelligent machine beings that also are participating, of course, in this army. And they just want to change you into being totally under their control, even though you may not be doing anything that really threatens their control. But just by being a human being and trying to survive and just doing what what I've been programmed to do, really. See, some of the things that I do that may look as though I'm free, they're actually part of my mental illness or my mental illness programming from day one in the psychopathic environment that I was essentially brought up in. And this is what happens with most human beings.
Somebody classified you as a criminal, even though you're not really a criminal. But that's why.
Yes, they point the finger, and the criminals are the law-abiding citizens, and the law-abiding citizens are posed as a threat and seen as criminals by society. This is how they work it. And it's really an anti-human, anti-life programming. So it's about proactive policing of innocent, normal citizens by psychopathic policing programs. And it's also human experimentation because they're being used by the powers that be in this transhuman program.
You could say I'm being harassed and have my rights violated.
And this video explains it very well, but so they actually see real human beings as a health risk, as a virus, whereas in reality it's Lucifer's computer virus that has infected most of the androids' minds. Because you have to become a very technical human being, completely controlled by information and completely controlled by the computer to be part of this program. But really it's just a computer virus that's infected humans' minds at an advanced technical level, which even I experience but don't understand how the actual technology works. Just as you don't understand how most things, even life, works around you. And this is the truth. So I'm just going to stop it here because I can't go on. And this, of course, is in America, but I'm in Australia. This happens in Australia, America, and England, but also in other countries too. But I'm not, of course, in connection with these countries. In fact, my only connection is through the artificial technology, even though most of it is artificial intelligence. So it's a diabolically deceptive endgame against humanity, which I don't know what the solution is.